you and your brother and your other nieces and nieces and nephews. She says, well, she says, well, did you? I said, yeah. I said, I'll send you a picture of it. It was $100. And
And
she's like, oh, really? That's mine? I said, yeah, but you're not going to touch it. It's just, we're going to leave it there. Well, it's gone up some, and we send them pictures and everything. And so I talked to our niece, our sister's daughter, and I said, we bought you guys some more Bitcoin today. I said, so show Charlie. And her mom says, Charlie and her little brother are running around teaching everybody about Bitcoin and how to get into Bitcoin. She says, they're really, really cute doing this. I said, well, show them this. And it's about $100 has turned into 105.
109 at one point.
And they said, that's so cool.
Yeah, you see it grow, and and nobody can take it. This cold card, the node, the help that Simply Bitcoin and you guys have done on the counseling part of how to do all this.
Just teaching them
was
that process.
It was well worth it to us, and the help that we were getting to how to self-storage.
I'm going to tell you something else, and you can not put this. Everybody at the bus shop will not. One guy will do it. He bought some Bitcoin, but he'd been in the stock market before, and he's 72
Yeah, 72.
And so he bought some Bitcoin, but he's having a hard time holding on to it. And he sold some. He says, it went down and I sold it. I said, don't sell it, Herb. Don't sell it. So he bought it back, but now it's gone up. And now he's happy again. He's not buying very much. But this one guy, he's a veteran, and he's 52 years old. And I said, and this is the story we hear. I'll ask my wife. I think I've told you this. I'll ask my wife. And the wife comes back and says, no. And so this big, tough veteran, my wife said no. I said, okay. And so I pull in the parking lot.
We'll get down.
For Thursday.
Get down.
And he rolls down his window and he goes, my wife still says no. And I went, okay. I said, I didn't even bring it up to him, I said, you're a veteran, right? And he goes, yeah. I said, well, I'm going to say something to you because I appreciate you being a veteran and being in this service. I said, I think that's phenomenal. I said, so I'm going to tell you something. I said, I'll put $100 and buy you some Bitcoin. Get you started. He goes, what? I said, yeah. I said, that's something I want to do. It's on my heart. He goes, Steve. He says, no. He says, you can't do that. I said, no, I'm not going to make you. I said, and I said, talk to your wife. I said, I don't want to cause any friction between you two or anything. I said, but I want to do this and it'll get you started. I said, and if you want to, you can match it. I said, but I'm not asking you to match. I don't want my money back. It's yours. And he was like, he teared up a little bit. He goes, that's unbelievable, Steve. That's unbelievable. I said, yeah, well, no. I said, I don't think so. I said, this is something I want to do for you and your wife. I said, and the reason is I want to get you started.
Very cool. That's
amazing. I told Mike,
yeah,
Mike, train him. Mike, train him.
You guys are you guys are doing amazing work. I think it's important to orange pill your friends and family. Guys, we're out of time, but this has been a fun conversation. Crazy story. I know you guys have, and I'll link to this in the description. But you've got a video where you sort of go into maybe even more detail than we went into today on the whole story. So very interesting, very sad, and so we'll make sure we include that. Is there anything else though that that we didn't touch, or any other place you want to send people, or how to get in touch with you if they're interested? or not.
just
You don't have to give people contact information or anything, but if you've
We
got
have
a
our YouTube
website or
channel.
yeah, your YouTube channel. What is that?
It's do it yourself with fixing it. Can you see that, Cords?
Yeah, do it.
You see that?
Do it.
Anyway, it's do it yourself with fixing it with the Long Bros.
Okay. Okay, so everyone needs to make sure they go check
Do
that.
it yourself with fixing it with the Long Bros.
Love it.
That backwards?
Yes, could be backwards.
No, it looks all right on my end. You're good. You're good.
Okay.
All righty. Well, hey,
I think the important thing to do for anybody that gets into Bitcoin, self-storage. Because
Well,
if we wouldn't have had that in the wall, and they looked for it, trust me, they tore the house apart. They tore my bed apart. They took everything. I mean, the house, it was horrible.
it looked like a bomb hit inside there.
And they didn't find that behind the wall.
so self-custody. That is the beauty of Bitcoin.
Self-custody.
You can self-custody and you can
Cold storage.
accrue value instead of losing value in the money that you hold.
And it's well worth getting the help
Yeah.
to do all of that.
Well, thank you. Hey, we're grateful to have you guys along for the
The
ride.
Bitcoin way.
Thank you guys so much. All righty, hey, you guys have a great day. I look forward to catching up soon, and maybe we'll get to chat again here.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank
Michael.
you guys.
And it's been a pleasure.
Edit it any way you want. I will not be offended. Trust me.
I appreciate it. And that's a wrap. Again, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I know I had a blast chatting with them, love their stories and willingness to share, and again, shed light on the injustice that they experience and that many probably across the country are experiencing as well. Go check out their YouTube channel, give Mike a follow. I think I'm going to link to that in the description. And of course, if you need help with what they talked about at the end there, proper Bitcoin self-custody, take control of the keys yourself, go to thebitcoinway.com/podcast, schedule a free 30-minute consult with a member of our team that can help you do it right. And if you need help with online privacy, setting up privacy phones, or a Plan B residency, we are a one-stop shop for all of your self-sovereignty needs. Again, that's thebitcoinway.com/podcast. Do me a favor, if you're enjoying the show, go give us a like, subscribe, share this with someone, leave us a comment, anything to feed the algorithm. We would really appreciate it. Spread the word for us. Until next time, stay safe, stay sovereign, and remember, the yield on Bitcoin is freedom.